There are a ton of truly wireless earbuds out there, but not all of them integrate voice assistance quite as well as the Pixel Bud. And now we finally have a version 2 of it, which cuts the wire and improves the earbuds themselves in many fundamental ways. This is Pocket Now, and I'm Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? This is my review of the Pixel Buds. There's something I wanted to start off with here because it is a conversation I've had often since the Pixel Buds first came out and I unboxed them on my channel. Do you actually use the Google Assistant that much? Let me know in the comments, and I'll also have a card up here where you can say yes or no, and also I'll link to my unboxing. Now, the reason why I asked this is because even if my usage of OKG is rather low, it's products like this that really make me want to use it a lot more. And that's because the Pixel Buds still stand out as the template for how Google Assistant should be implemented, especially on audio products. This is not to discredit the new Pixel Buds' improved ability to recognize the hot word, a feature made possible by really good microphones that do a good job for that task, but also for voice and video calls that might be very common right now. That's because you normally say things like OKG, and then you just hope that there's not too much noise around you, and you also hope that the software can recognize when you stopped talking. Instead, you press and hold the area, say something, let go, and it's far more accurate than the alternative. You can also press and hold until you hear a chime, so that you can hear your notifications read out loud to you. Now, in this new version, notifications can be set on a per-app basis, which helps a lot. In my case, it's all about Telegram. And responses are done the same way as before. When you're prompted, you say your response, and then you do hope if the software can actually give you an accurate read. Now, I do wish that the press and hold feature was implemented all over the Pixel Buds interface, let's say, but I still appreciate that at the very least, I can hear my notifications in an easy way. So let's just talk about the earbuds for a second because they've been massively improved from the last version. The case is an egg. There's no way around it. It's an obvious descriptor, and it's always going to look like an egg, even if you get a different color of the buds, which I find a little peculiar. That color that you might buy only applies to the buds themselves. One thing I already enjoy with the Pixel Buds is third-party support, like with the leather Nomad case you might have already noticed me using. A USB-C port on the bottom is available for charging if you don't take advantage of the wireless charging capabilities. And finally, a button on the lower back can be held to trigger a pairing mode through which you can connect these buds to just about anything, like Bluetooth earphones. On smartphones, the Pixel Buds app will be required to get the most out of the experience, but with that, we can actually take the actual buds out of their strong magnetic slots. They're pretty minimal now, but yes, it looks like you're putting a couple of Mentos in your ears. No longer are there any wires or uncomfortable earpieces. Now they're true wireless, and the buds come with a couple of key features that make them the most comfortable pairs around. First off, the wingtips. These help keep the buds in one's ear without falling out at even the slightest shakes. And secondly, there's a vent that helps get some air in, a little bit like the AirPods Pro, which reduces the plugged feeling that most earbuds give users. By the way, the earbuds do have really good water resistance, so while I would recommend against doing things like showers with the Pixel Buds, they will certainly work well in, let's say, the workout environment or for brisk walks outside as the weather starts to heat up. The final result is a pair of really light earbuds that basically feel like they're not there. Now, there is some ear fatigue after hours of wearing, though super long wear times, I'm told, are not really the norm, but I'm one of those people, and it would take about 2 to 3 hours of straight wearing until I needed to give my ears a rest. I'm the long wear kind of user because I like to have something playing in the background pretty much all the time. So it's good that the Pixel Buds allow you to use one bud at a time. And I'm appreciative that the same controls carry over no matter which bud you're using. Often you get different controls based on which side is in. Volume controls are always available via swipes forward and backward, taps are playlist control, and then I already talked about the Google Assistant controls. So how do they sound? In a word, good. I've messed with a lot of truly wireless earbuds, and the one thing I've learned is that every person's ears and preferences are different, so allow me to just try to explain how I would rank these earbuds in some key areas. The main frequencies that are lacking are in the low end, where bass isn't as booming as they are in my Jabra Elite Active 75T, and they fall just short of the same type of bass response of the AirPods Pro. That said, even if it won't move you to the core, your ears can still satisfyingly perceive them, unlike with the Galaxy Buds Plus, which have worse low-frequency responses in my opinion. Now, voices tend to be the priority with earbuds made by phone manufacturers, and that is indeed the case with the Pixel Buds. So for the mids and some of the highs, I think that they're on par with both the Galaxy Buds Plus and the AirPods Pro. But you'll notice that I just featured a few different earbuds that have what you might call killer features. And it's in those areas that the Pixel Buds simply fall short. And it's up to you to think of Google Assistant as that killer feature, and I do think it comes kind of close, but there are some extra features I hope make it to version 3. Features like active noise cancellation, which the AirPods Pro and the Sony WF-1000XM3s do really well with. The AirPods Pro in particular managed to marry ANC and the air vents for the best of both worlds. I wish that the Pixel Buds had a pass-through function, which the Galaxy Buds Plus and the Jabra Elite 75T have, despite not having ANC, so that I could more easily talk to people around me when needed. Between ANC and pass-through, it's debatable which one is more important to me, because I like having things like lo-fi playing at a low level with the pass-through on, so it's kind of like having a personal soundtrack to my productivity. But then again, getting some peace and zen with noise cancellation is very useful too. But there are reports coming out stating that the Pixel Buds can greatly improve on a feature that I think most users might haphazardly overlook: adaptive sound. Since there is no ANC, these buds don't totally block the outside world from coming in. So if your volume is low enough, you can basically hear people around you without the need for amplified pass-through. Google is hoping to make the microphone smarter and smarter so that it will not only lower or increase the volume based upon your situation, like a library or a subway, but then it can also do so based on recognizable cues, like the sound of a baby crying or a dog barking to get your attention. That would be a great way of skirting the extra sound modes that are missing, but like with many Google products, that's a feature that is on its way and we're all just in the beta test right now. And finally, despite the convenient wireless charging case and the fact that I can just switch earbuds out when needed, I wish the battery life was a bit better. It's not bad, topping out at about 5 hours depending on usage, but it's simply dwarfed by something like the Galaxy Buds Plus, which can go for like 10 hours straight. So unless you're okay with about 45-minute charging times, the Pixel Buds won't be the best companion for long-haul flights. So what the Pixel Buds have done in this second generation is prove that Google knew what fundamentals to focus on. As with all things Google, the software gets a little more attention, and in this case, that's kind of okay. ANC and pass-through audio are still considered overachieving features despite how much more common they are slowly becoming. But a great way to interact with Google Assistant is exactly what Big G wants and sometimes needs to achieve for their audience. But if you're not that kind of user, that's okay too, because these are really well-rounded baseline earbuds that make sure Google Assistant doesn't also equal an extraordinary price tag. At $179, you get good sound, a light fit, quite a bit of comfort, great controls, and Google Assistant if you want it, for a price that undercuts the ANC-enabled competitors that might not have their own fit, comfort, feel, or convenience. If you are an Android user in particular, and you want a good way to get started in true wireless audio, the Pixel Buds hit a good, fundamental, happy medium and are worthwhile as a first step in the right direction. A quick reminder for you to respond to my question from the beginning of this video. Do you use the Google Assistant a lot? Especially if the Pixel Buds are your way of using it? Let me know what you think, and if you got a pair of these, let me know what your experience has been with them as well. At the very least, drop some likes on this video, but if you're new here, make sure you stick around by hitting subscribe so you can keep up with the Pocket Now channel. And from there, we're going to go ahead and call it on this one, and we'll see you in our next video.